are all living in interesting times as American society undergoes dramatic change. A lot of that change is bad. And when I say that, I mean that traditions that strengthened the USA are being destroyed or broken down. And we all know that. We do this almost every night. We challenge. And now with the presidential election of November, you really have a clear choice between the progressive left, which controls everything Joe Biden does and wants a quasi-socialistic country, woke and all that, and Donald Trump, who you may not like, but he will keep the country on a traditional path. All right, he's not going to blow up the structure that we have. And that's basically what this is all about. This election, very, very important in history. So the press is a part of all this, and that is the subject of the Talking Points memo this evening. I'm going to give you one example of a press outlet you know. You may not read it, but you know it. It's USA Today. So at its height, 40 years ago, USA Today had a circulation of about 2.5 million readers because they gave it away free in the airports. It was everywhere. Hotels gave it to you, that kind of thing. 2.5. You know what the circulation of that is now? About 120,000. From 2.5 million in 89, it's dropped 94% in circulation. And the reason is that Gannett, the parent company, has changed it into an ideological situation. All right, I'm going to prove that now. So Gannett is a parent company, and Gannett lost an astounding amount of money last year. It lost $28 million in 2023, and that's down from $78 million in 22. And the reason it lost less in 23 is it cut out a lot of its paper. So it's hard to get USA Today paper. It's online. So they cut those costs. But it's still losing $25 million a year. And it's not going to be around much longer. The whole Gannett thing's going over the cliff. And again, it's because of ideology. Because traditional people, they don't want to read propaganda. And they won't. So here's the latest headline in USA Today. Put it up there. Full screen on the radio. I'll read it to you. Trump spent the weekend lying. Biden prepped. Isn't that nice? That sounds real objective to me. Trump spent the weekend lying. The whole weekend. He just lied all through Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday. I don't know if he stopped lying Sunday midnight, but USA Today probably knows. But Biden, he just prepped for the debate. Okay, the writer of this article is a guy named Chris Brennan. All right, he's a columnist for USA Today. And he has a perfect right to say whatever he wants about Donald Trump or Joe Biden. He's a columnist, but he's a Trump hater. Okay, so under his picture I just showed you, and the word columnist, it should be "and Trump hater." So the audience knows what they're getting. And let me back it up. All right, so in June, just a few weeks ago, here's what Brennan wrote. Quote, Donald Trump is many things. A bankrupt real estate developer recast on television as a business savant, a New York playboy adjudicated liable for sexual abuse, a law and order politician convicted of 34 felonies. That sounds an objective description of Donald Trump, right? Come on. So anyway, I could give you more from this guy, Brennan, but he hates Donald Trump. Now, you would think that the CEO of Gannett would know that. And if you're going to use Brennan, then next to Brennan, you have a conservative columnist. That's how fairness is imposed. But no, as John Belushi once said. Okay, and that's why they're going down the drain. Now, the good news is that the media is not going to have much influence on the vote in November. The cable news ratings are cascading down big time. The network news is like it's basically a weather forecast. If you watch the network news at 6:30 or whenever it comes on in your town, they just run around covering weather and then blaming it on global warming. That's what they do. Okay? The Washington Post, one of the two big liberal papers, lost $77 million last year and is a revolution in its own newsroom. They want to boot Jeff Bezos, the owner, out. All right? And the New York Times, well, what can I say? So it's done. What these papers and television stations say does not really matter anymore, with one exception. If the race, the vote, is razor tight, razor close, there are uninformed Americans who pick up stuff, and maybe the media will tilt them to Biden. But it's certainly not going to be what it was. All right? The media is shot in America, another institution that is evaporating before our eyes. And people ask me, is it coming back? And my answer is no, and I will give you my answer in the final thought tonight. Because I was on News Nation last night, and I told News Nation, which is trying desperately to get a foothold, and I like News Nation, okay? I told them that much of the media will never come back, and I'm going to use that sound cut. And that's a memo. All right, Joe Biden is in Camp David rehearsing. Big question is he going to be able to remember what he has been memorizing for the last 5 days? And my answer is, I don't know. That's the drama. You're not going to learn anything new. Both Trump and Biden are going to say what they've said from day one. All right? Biden's going to go, here's a convicted felon. Trump's going to go, here's the worst president in history. We won't have a country anymore. No. But the drama is Joe going to be able to stand there for 90 minutes without running out and mussing up Jake Tapper's hair or something? And that's why people will watch. And we'll have a record viewership. Now, do you know this newspaper, the Daily Mail? This is a British newspaper. It's a tabloid, all right? It is totally unreliable. One of the worst. Gutter snipes, all right? But they put out a report yesterday that caught my eye. I cannot verify this report other than to say the stats that the Daily Mail used are public. All right? From Delaware. And it's about President Biden's finances. You haven't heard this story because it'll get completely blacked out by the corporate media, but not here. So the story is that the Bidens, Joe and Jill, have two homes in Delaware, okay? They have refinanced the mortgages on those homes, on average, every 17 months to the tune of $6 million they have taken out of their two homes. I called some real estate people, and they said they've never heard anything like this, ever. Why would you do that? Why do you need $6 million? You have no children in the home. It's just Joe and Jill. And every expense they have, every single one, is paid by the taxpayers. Everything. In 2023, they made $620,000. So why on earth are they taking out $6 million from their homes? I don't know. Now, I know I'm going to get letters speculating. They're giving it to Hunter. They're giving it to Chinese guys. I know that. Okay? And if that is what amuses you, go ahead. But for me, as a hardcore journalist, I don't know. But I wanted you to know that this is, according to the Delaware property reports, which have to be made public, this is in stone. It's true. Isn't that interesting? Have you ever been buried in debt, piles of overdue bills, threatening phone calls, and it just won't stop? Done with debt is your way out. They have developed aggressive new strategies to end your debt permanently. Done with Debt tirelessly negotiates with your creditors to lower or even forgive what you owe. And they do it all without bankruptcy or new loans. Done with Debt has unique strategies to get you out of debt faster. But you need to hurry because some debt solutions are time sensitive. Visit donewithdebt.com and talk with one of their debt relief strategists for free. You have nothing to lose except your debt. Go to donewithdebt.com, donewithdebt.com. Some PolitiFact to Politico, a website, political website, uses anonymous sources all day long. All right? So the latest is a report that President Biden is mean, M-E-A-N, mean. Quote, they use an anonymous person, supposedly knows Biden, close to Biden, and that person says, you can't conclude anything that will set him off or say, put that in. He likes that, said one senior administration official. It's a Rorschach test, not a briefing, because he is not a pleasant person to be around when he's briefed. It's very difficult, and people are scared, S-word, of him, unquote. All right, that's Politico. Now, is that true? No idea. Anybody can say anything at any time on an anonymous basis. So I'm not going to run around going, oh, Joe Biden's mean. He tells all his people to blank off. What I will tell you is, and the only thing that Politico had right in this that I can see is that Biden's people are turning. But we don't use anonymous sources as facts here. I will always say this is an anonymous source, so I can't vouch for the validity. I can vouch for the border stats. So about 103,000 have crossed the border into the USA in June. And most of them were let go, and they are joining you in your communities. By comparison, in June 2020, when Trump was in, 31,000 migrants crossed in. Okay, and most of them were not released. Hunter Biden suing Fox News. This is a riot. This is so funny. So Fox News does a mock trial called The Trial of Hunter Biden, fictional program. And in that, it includes images of Hunter Biden naked. I don't know where they got him, or they made it up, or they had an artist. I don't know. I didn't see it. So Hunter Biden suing Fox News, saying it violated New York Civil Rights Law, Section 52B, which is revenge porn. This is true. Absolutely true. So Hunter Biden suing Fox News, and they got some lawyer to pick it up, not costing Hunter Biden anything, trying to shake down Fox. How many times does that happen? Okay. So the law basically says you cannot publish a naked picture of somebody. You can't. That's revenge porn. Now, this will be thrown out, but did you hear that reported anywhere? I don't even think Fox News reported it. Smart life. So how much money do you need to feel financially secure a year coming into the house? How much? Guess a number. This is a survey from Bank Rate Financial News Service. Okay, it was conducted in May. About 2,500 U.S. adults, all right, online. The number that Americans say they need every year coming into the house is $186,000 to feel secure. Okay. Now, $186,000 in New York City, no, you're not going to be secure. San Francisco, no. LA, no. But in most places, that would do. Now, the second question was, how much do you need every year for you to feel rich, wealthy. Okay? $520,000 a year, $500,000 a year. And this is before taxes. Now, on the 186,000 secure number, only 6% of U.S. adults make more than $186,000. Smart life. So if you want to make more money, you have to develop a skill that is better than pretty much everybody else, so that you're in demand by corporations and companies that will pay you more because you can make more money for them. Or you got to go out on your own. There are only two ways to do it. Go out on your own and form a business, or go under the corporate umbrella and outperform the other people. That's what I did. Now I have my own business, but up until 7 years ago, I worked in corporate America, but I outperformed almost everybody and rose up. Okay? But there's only two avenues, unless you want to be a criminal. Smart life. Highest property taxes in the country. We have the top 5 states. They are: Illinois has the highest property tax rate, Jersey second, Connecticut third, New York fourth, Nebraska. Wow, I didn't know that. 5 highest property taxes. Lowest, Hawaii, because the Hawaiians don't have any money because they're paying so much in income tax and all that. Arizona, Alabama, Delaware, hello Joe Biden, Tennessee, the lowest property taxes. In today's economic climate, many face the challenge of managing monthly expenses, and high credit card interest rates can keep you trapped in a cycle of debt. Paying the minimum each month means delaying becoming debt-free. Reach out to American Financing, a trusted partner in achieving financial freedom. If you are a homeowner, they can tap into your home's equity to help eliminate your high-interest credit card debt. On average, their customers save $854 a month. That's equivalent to a $10,000 raise at work. You could close your loan in 10 days. And by acting today, you might not have to pay your next mortgage payment. It costs nothing to see how much you can save. So regain control of your finances. Call 888-462-9557. 888-462-9557, or visit AmericanFinancing.net/Bill. By now you have heard me talk about Delta Rescue. They are a fantastic organization that helps rescue animals from the wilderness. You know, I'm a dog lover, so is Leo Grillo, the founder of Delta Rescue. It is his life's mission to provide everlasting care for these once abandoned animals. I myself have donated to Delta Rescue. Do you believe it is part of man's duty to care for dogs and horses, the animals that so much of our history is tied to? If so, please consider making a donation or consult your advisor about leaving a gift in your will or trust. There can be some tax advantages, and it's a great way to help Delta Rescue accomplish their mission. So please visit deltarescue.org to learn more. That's deltarescue.org. Okay, final thought of the day. I was at the Met-Yankee Subway Series last night, Citi Field, packed house. And you know, New York is known for kind of being a violent place sometimes. And I'm telling you, there wasn't any problem between the Yankees and Met fans. They were joshing each other. There would be a chant, "Let's go Yanks," then it would be overwhelmed by "Let's go Mets." Everybody's having a good time. There's no angst. You know, if you remember the Dodgers and the Giants out in the mellow West Coast, they beat the tar out of each other sometimes. Nothing happened. So I'm at the game, and I'm very privileged to, know a lot of the baseball officials and all of that, and we have good seats and everything. And then, unbeknownst to me, I didn't know this, the camera zeroes in. Roll the tape.
So Cole, looking for his first easy inning, has retired the first two in the third.
Daryl and Bill O'Reilly. How about that?
Strawman.
Bill is very tall. Tall as Daryl.
There's Francisco Alvarez, who walked his first time up, and he takes a strike.
So there I was, Daryl Strawberry, one of the greatest Mets ever, and he did very well for the Yankees. Had a fascinating conversation with Mr. Strawberry. He's a preacher now. He's a minister. Went to school for it, and he lives in St. Louis, and he travels around the country. And we're talking about killing Jesus. We're talking about the game, too. But he wanted to know a lot of the stuff that we had in Killing Jesus. No religion there in that book, but it's all history. I told him where we got it and how we got it, and he was fascinated by it. He's a good guy. I've known Daryl for a while. He's a Hall of Famer. And then in the booth, it was Doc Gooden was there, Mike Piazza, two more Hall of Famers. I mean, they're all in that booth. It was really, really a good night. And, you know, that is the upside of doing what I do, that I get access to a lot of things that, you know, regular people wouldn't. The downside is that as we become more powerful, and we're seeing this now in the country, that organized smear attacks, here they come. And we knew it. We knew it. I mean, the more influential you'll get, the more the far left will try to hurt you. There's a little bit of that on the far right, too, all right, but not nearly as much. And the thing that people don't know is that these smear merchants, gutter snipes, they're paid to put this stuff out on the internet. They're paid. And it's a tough investigation because it's cash, but it's organized. And I talked about it with Hannity today on his program, on his radio program that I do every Wednesday. That came up, that subject came up. Because Hannity and I, we started at the same time in '96 on the Fox News Channel, and we've both seen it all. I mean, we know what's happening in this country. And you're going to see, if Biden does not do well in a debate tomorrow night, and Trump starts to build a lead in the polling, you are going to see from the far left unprecedented personal smear attacks on Donald Trump and anybody who supports him. And there's no question about that. They are coming, if that happens. And you think, well, it can't get any worse. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it can. And, you know, with our justice system collapsing, you can't sue them. Take 5 years and $3 million, and then you get a liberal judge, and you go, okay, there you go. They can do it with impunity. Anyway, I had a great time at the Met-Yankee game. Love both teams. Both managements are terrific. And that's one of the great things about living in New York. A lot of downside, but that's an upside. Thank you for watching and listening to the No Spin News. We'll see you on Monday. Thank you for watching the No Spin News. To watch the full episode anytime on BillO'Reilly.com, please sign up to become a premium or concierge member. Visit BillO'Reilly.com to sign up and start watching today.